Oh, it's already recording. We're going to have to pause recording. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on our Friday Discovery webinar series. My name is Samantha Sieber. I am the Franchise Development Coordinator here with HomeWell, and we're really excited today to introduce to you probably some of the least talked about, but probably one of the most important duos here at HomeWell, Erica Ellers and Matt Heyer. Erica is our Senior Director of Learning, and Matt is our Learning Design and Engagement Manager. They've been working really hard launching our HomeWell Learning Lab, and we're really excited to introduce them to you.
Great.
Go ahead.
All right. Thanks so much. We're really excited to be here today to share with you all the fabulosity that is learning at HomeWell. So to kick things off, let's just start with, why are we even here talking about this? We all know training's helpful so that you kind of know how to do things, but is it really critical to your business success? And actually, based on a ton of research out there in the world, it really is. Learning contributes to employee engagement. Nearly all employees state training positively impacts their engagement. Engaged employees are more likely to stay, and companies with engaged employees greatly outperform those who don't have engaged employees. Learning also impacts retention. 3/4 state they're more likely to stay if the company offers learning programs. And even better, companies with comprehensive learning programs see significantly higher profit, which is fantastic. It turns out that the type of learning is important too. A vast majority of employees want easy to access, easy to complete training that's personalized to their needs. Knowing all of this about the importance of learning and the type of learning people want heavily influenced how we created Learning Lab by HomeWell. This is the main umbrella under which all of our learning lives. And our focus is to create engaging and relevant blended learning experiences for the owner and support staff. By blended learning, that's kind of training speak. And what that means is that we're talking about offering content in a variety of formats. So online modules, interactive workshops, job aids and reference materials, and peer-to-peer learning. What this does is it really helps to foster retention and application of the concepts and skills that you learn, and ultimately makes you and your team more successful. That brings us to the home of our learning, which is the Learning Lab LMS. We piloted this site late last year and launched it to our full system in April of this year. So what lives on the site? We have self-paced and interactive online learning modules on industry and operational topics, and Matt's going to give you a little bit more information about that shortly. We have leaderboards and badges. So these are gamification elements that live within the site, and Matt and I both have experience at previous companies at the success of this. It really helps to drive learning engagement. At one of our previous companies that we worked with, we actually would have people calling us and saying, hey, I need you to give me more content because I need to get to the top of my leaderboard. And as somebody who's worked in learning for a couple decades now, anytime you can get somebody to go, hey, can you give me more training? That is a total win for the learning team. So, we always love when we get that. We also have a ton of different resources and job aids on the site. We work with our vendor partners. They also hold educational sessions and webinars, so we will record those and make those available to you on the site. Registration for all of our live learning and networking events are on the site. Once you register, you will get like an Outlook calendar invite. You'll get reminders so that, when you sign up for that class and 3 weeks later, when it comes up, you don't forget, oh yeah, I signed up for that class. We'll help remind you. LaunchWell certification for new owners, which I'm going to kind of take you through the journey of what that looks like here momentarily. And then virtual workshops also live on the site. So speaking of virtual workshops, our workshops are live Zoom events that are highly interactive and participatory. So we build on what you learn in the online modules and focus on giving you opportunities to practice. So we have case studies and scenarios that we walk you through so that you can apply those key concepts that you learned. We have role playing. So you'll conduct an actual behavioral interview. You'll answer a client intake call. You'll practice an elevator pitch so that you can feel confident once you actually face those experiences in real life when you open your doors. And then we have the sharing of best practices. So you're going to network with your fellow owners. Plus, all of our workshops are also available to existing owners and their teams. So you'll have the benefit of hearing perspectives from those who are already open and operating when you're in your learning environment. Another new initiative that we have this year is called Communities of Practice. So these sessions are designed for your support staff at your agency. They're sessions that we hold quarterly, and we bring together those across the brand in the same role to discuss industry updates, challenges, or new programs and initiatives. So we have these for our HR and recruiting folks, for care managers, for sales, and for schedulers. And basically what these sessions do are really leverage the benefit of being part of a brand family. So no one scheduler at an agency needs to feel like an island unto themselves because they're the only one at their location who does what they do. They have access to a whole system of schedulers who get it and understand the day-to-day of the job. So having that sounding board to be able to discuss ideas and solve problems with somebody that understands what you do can go a really long way to increasing employee engagement, which, as we heard before, is really kind of important. So now what I want to do is walk you through our new program through my little game board here. And this is going live later this year. It's called LaunchWell. So this is a comprehensive program that's going to support you in being prepared and ready to open your doors and hit the ground running. So we start off by getting you on the Learning Lab, where you begin to take content about our industry, about franchising, and about HomeWell and who we are as a brand. At that point, you're going to be ready to submit your application for a license to the state. You're going to continue taking content, and then you're going to go through the first virtual workshop on our industry. From there, you'll move into content that's really at the heart of what we do, and that's operations. So along with that content, you're going to take content around our systems, the key metrics and KPIs that drive your success. Once you've learned those concepts, you're then going to move on to what we call a host visit. And this is where you're going to actually spend time at an open and operating location so that you can actually see what you've learned in those modules in a real world setting and be able to ask questions. When you come back, you'll move on to the operations workshop where you'll actually then, you've learned it, you've seen it, now you can do it. So you'll actually practice the aspects of the client care process, such as creating a care plan and client caregiver matching. Then we move on to talent management, which is hugely critical to your agency. Everybody knows that, the recruitment and retention of your caregivers and your support staff is really important. So this is really going to help you stem to stern with that whole entire process. Then we're going to round things out with sales and marketing. And the goal here is to help you drive brand awareness, to drive clients, and to drive revenue to your agency. So you'll notice around this last turn over here that we have something that says milestone open. The majority of new agencies will complete the full certification process before they open, but some states tend to move faster than others when it comes to licensing, and we never want learning to be what holds you up from being able to open your doors and start servicing your clients. So we've designed this program in a way that you can get the critical information you need on your timeline. So if you do fast track, you'll then be able to open, but then you can round that last corner and finish up the certification soon after you open your doors. So now I'm actually going to turn things over to Matt, and he's going to share more with you about our actual content.
Thanks, Erica. Hi, everyone. So Erica's walked us through what the data are saying about training, its impact, and how associates are hungry for performance improving information. And on top of that, she just walked you through and demonstrated our operational plan for getting you and your staff up and running. What I'd like to do is review a few common concerns, some of which may be on your mind right now. One common concern we hear is there's a lot about this industry I don't know. To assist you with understanding the industry you're about to join, we're supporting you with 16 interactive modules or 5.5 hours of self-paced training to build an understanding of how your business fits and operates within the industry. Another common concern we hear is, how will I get clients? Well, our sales training contains 60 lessons across 7 courses and includes an initial 90-day sales plan to help you ramp up your referral business and acquire your first clients. By the way, what we're looking at here is all of the titles of some of the courses. They were actually so long I couldn't fit them all on here, but this is just a taster of some of the titles that we have out there. And speaking of acquiring your first clients, we often hear concerns from new owners unsure about operating a home care business. And we've got you covered there too, with another 50 lessons over 7 courses that walk you and your team through taking your first call to providing ongoing supervision and care support. Now, some of you may have concerns about locating, hiring, and keeping quality employees. Again, our training includes support for this with 70 lessons, over 11 courses that help you understand and identify the shifting needs of your business, how to conduct effective recruitment and interviews, and how to manage conflict while developing your team. Now, Eric and I are huge proponents of analytics, and we want you to understand the details of your business too. To assist you here and alleviate any concerns over measuring success, we've created these courses that fully explain both the how and, more importantly, the why of analyzing your processes so you can modify and accelerate your existing business plans. Next, I want to share with you a few images of the type of training you and your team will be taking. As we've mentioned, most all of our training is interactive. This means the learner is required to actively participate with the material. Some of these interactions are process-based, supported by audio and imagery. Graphics are all intentionally designed and customized to HomeWell. Many courses include scenarios which give the learner a safe opportunity to role play and discover how they'd interact to unexpected situations. And of course, testing. Nearly every module requires learners to demonstrate their understanding of material before credit is earned. And speaking of credit earned, over 260 student accounts. We currently have over 260 student accounts on the Learning Lab right now, with a really shocking 93% activity rating, meaning they're in the site and they are taking training. In terms of content that they're completing, we've got nearly 500 interactive modules that have been completed and nearly 2,000 resources, so that'd be documents or supporting guides that have been accessed by our current learner base. So to summarize, our learners, owners, and associates are eager to develop their skills and resources we've provided. And both Eric and I are looking forward to getting your agency set up in the Learning Lab in the near future. Thanks. Erica or Sam?
Yeah, so I know we kind of shared a lot in a little bit of time. So, definitely happy to answer any questions. This is all, one thing I will say about what we're doing is we also very actively have our franchisees involved in how we build things. So we pilot things with our franchisee base. We're constantly seeking feedback and information. So, just know as you come on board, we're going to be asking for your feedback. You're going to have a voice in what we do. And that's, hugely important to us as well. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Sam. And if there are any questions about learning, we'd be happy to answer them.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. It was really exciting. I love the data and the metrics too, that and constructive criticism. Our department feeds off that too. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box below or reach out to your development director, Jack, Treg, Mike, John, Dan, any of us. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you guys do have. But for now, thank you for joining us.